is a joyful, I wanted a joyful bit of someone trying to find her voice. And I'm glad that you got it. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. And I'm really, I'm so blessed to be here. And to see all these different stories told. And to know, like, I know that you went to that festival and you realize how many stories we don't hear, don't see out there in the world. This is really important what you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Erica. All right, Taylor, you ready? Were you nervous when you watch yourself on screen?
Oh, 100%. I get so nervous. I'm like, what if people don't like me? Or I just get so nervous, even like a shot. When I was on stage, I got really nervous.
So, how did you prepare to take on the role of Little Maya? How did that come about? What was your preparation?
Well, I kind of just thought of like the celebrities I love, like Zendaya, Kiki Palmer, and I thought like if they did these roles, they'd kill it. So I said, if I'm in their shoes, I'm doing it.
I want to know, did you skip school or did you, when did they shoot, like on recess or?
I think I skipped.
We shot on a weekend.
Yes, just for me. I'll be sure.
Okay, are you looking forward to your friends coming to see the movie and your family? Or?
Yeah, I'm excited for my friends. One of my BFFs already saw it with me, and everyone that saw it, they said they loved it. So I'm excited for the rest of my family to see it.
When you grow up and get an award, don't forget about Sacramento. Okay? Tell them where your mom's from.
My mom is from here in Sacramento.
That's awesome. All right, Erica, I'm going to switch it. What do you think of Dion's film Fear?
I was scared. I mean, to be able to pack that much tension in a trailer, oh my gosh, it was nuts. I was definitely like that.
So Dion, what do you want the audience to take away? And then I'm going to ask you a number of questions, so I'm just telling you. Just from Fear, you did it for a reason, there was inspiration behind it, there was a story you were trying to tell, and what do you want the audience to leave with? And then again, I got a grip of questions for you.
Yeah, I mean, look, it took me a long time to find my voice as a filmmaker. Obviously playing basketball, you kind of find your rhythm of what your game might be. But film is a lot like sports or whatever it is you might be doing that you love. You have to find your footing and your voice. I love taking stories and having those films say something. I'm a little bit different than most filmmakers where I don't like it in your face. I like it to be found inside of I like to call it putting the medicine in the candy. So, for instance, my biggest theme is overcoming adversity. So, from Black and Blue with Naomi Harris, overcoming adversity, to The Intruder, Michael Ealy, and Megan Good, overcoming adversity with This Man in Their House that represents evil, which is Dennis Quaid, to Meet the Blacks, who Mike Epps does a bunch of wrong things, lies to the family, has to overcome adversity of the things he did before. Fear, although it's wrapped in a horror movie, the storyline is about manifesting fear and the idea that if you allow fear to overtake you, it will kill you in anything that you do in life. So although it's wrapped in a horror movie, the basis of that film is based on manifestation of fear and not allowing fear to overtake you.
What high school did you go to?
I came from Gary, Indiana, and I did my last 2 years of high school here at Florin.
Yeah, Florin High is high.
Come on, man. First scholarship ever out of that school, man.
So, where did the story or the script, how did that come to you?
For Fear, it was simple. It was the pandemic, and it was the height of the pandemic, and everyone was scared to go outside, and we didn't know what was going on at the time, and I remember just being like, what? Never seen the world shut down. And about 4 or 5 weeks into it, my curiosity about like, can I get out and go do something just came up, and I ended up picking up the phone. This movie was shot for $1 million. I picked up the phone, and the first call I made was to Joseph Sikora. And I said, Joe, where you at? He was like, I'm in New York. And he just sitting in the house. And I was like, I got an idea for a movie. And he was like, send me the script. And I said, I don't have a script. Come to Tahoe, I found a lodge up there, and I think we could put this movie together. He was like, you lying, right? And I said, no. He said, all right, I'm gonna get in the car on Monday and drive. The next call was King Batch. The next call was T.I. I just called people on the phone, and they showed up. And we ended up going to make this movie up here at Strawberry Lodge, is the name of the place. By the time we started making the film, Roxanne, who's my producer partner, was on the phone with the CDC trying to figure out how do you test at the time. When we finished, about 3 weeks into the movie, we found out that we were the first people in the country to shoot a feature film right here. Came, finished, wrapped the movie, and we had interviews from NBC, CNBC, CNN. I was like, yo, what just happened? And it was crazy. We were testing, were we doing it once a week or twice? 3 times, you had to test 3 times, and because they didn't have the service, we would do the test, and then someone would have to get in the car and drive those tests to LA, run them through a lab, and we would get the results back at like 10 o'clock in the morning the next day. So everyone on set would wait to see if someone was positive. And you would just be looking like this. And then everybody had walkie-talkies, and they'd be like, all clear. And we'd go, oh, and we all start. And we ended up doing it the entire time. We had 1 case. I'm to the height of it. We had one dude that was a truck driver that we did the test, and he was on his way, getting ready to walk into the lodge and deliver stuff, and it was like, truck driver 3 has COVID. And everybody was like, oh, so he was running around, getting his ass up out of there, man. So he said, you gotta go. That was like the closest that time we ever had a COVID, but we did it. And right after that, I know they shot the John David Washington and Zendaya made their movie that was on Netflix. They got through that, but we were the first in the country to do it.
How long did it take you to shoot that whole movie?
15 days, 14 days.
So what's the normal time for most folks to generally to shoot a feature film? Like what's up? I know it's longer than 14 days.
45 days, 35, 45 days. But that's what I said, this is a rhythm we have. You know, Meet the Blacks was shot in 9 days for $900,000. We developed this muscle a very long time ago, making movies based on the fact that we didn't have no money and we could never go back. So the one thing I started figuring out early with filmmaking is if you could see the movie in your head and you know exactly what shot you want to get, I have to live with that shot because I'm not getting nothing else. So I said, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna get a reverse, and I'm gone. And once you know how to do that, and you can see it, the rest is about putting in the editing room and building out what that film is and what I've seen in my head. Then you get garbage rolls, which is like, I'll get my shots, and then I might be like, hey, hold up a second. Do this real fast, do that real fast, do this real fast, go over there, move over there, walk across the screen, right? And that stuff will go in again. And I know like, oh man, 5 months later, we'd be like, damn, where's that one shot with him? Right? And that's how I film it. It comes from just a place of necessity. We've never had a reshoot in our life. And that's been a blessing, man, yeah.
So Erica, how do you go about, I mean, you just heard him, what's your process?
So this was my first time as a filmmaker, and I've just learned a lot. I was a producer, I had a director on set, but yes, I can't, just shooting this short was such a massive undertaking that the idea that you shot in 14 days in COVID, I mean, we didn't have extra, we couldn't get extra, we shot in COVID as well, and there's just so many hiccups and so many fires that you have to put out, like every day is a new thing, and then editing like changes everything too, so did you make it easier for, like, with you having direct shots, does that clean up your editing? Do you already sort of have the edit in your mind? Like,
Hello? Yeah, so part of the idea is to know the movie before you shoot it, right? And that's where the creativity comes from that so many of us have that we don't understand. You can lay a film out, if you could pitch something, or you could sing a song, or you could hear somebody rap something or sing something, you could visually see it, you could do this, right? So a little bit of it's like, okay, it's gonna be a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then I go, normally what I've been really good at early on, I got in trouble for a lot in high school was I was the loudmouth, screaming all the old movies, doing all the scenes in the movies, you know what I mean? Get to the chopper! And they'd be like, go take your ass outside. So I was visually already like, oh, I know how that would work, or I know what that would, or I could reference another movie. Once you have that, when you get on set, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be just like this. Oh, you remember in Aliens when the monster came out? And the actor goes, yeah, I remember that. Okay, remember how she looked? Yeah, do that. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of like just being able to visually show people what it is you want them to do.
So Erica, tell me this. Journey to get the rights. Help the audience understand how that came out.
That was an undertaking. This was all new to me. Portland Tangavi is the director of this, and when we first had an interview, she was like, "Do you have the rights?" And I was like, "Oh no, we'll get those. We'll get those. It's fine." I had no idea. I was foolish, and really the only reason why I got it is because I was so foolish to think that we could, and I just kept putting one foot in front of the next. And I had resources. I sent some emails out, and I had a friend that knew Patty Jenkins, who is friends with Steve Perry, who got my script to him. He read the script. He liked what I was trying to do. He's notorious. First, actually, Brandy Jackson. You know who Brandy Jackson is from American Idol, and I had someone set me up with a call with him, and he was like, "I love this song. Yo, this is my story. I lived this, man." And then he's like, "Steve Perry's never going to give you the rights." And I was like,
Wait, Steve Perry, what?
He said, "Steve Perry's never going to give you the rights." And so then, so Steve Perry's a lead singer for anyone that doesn't know who Journey is. But so then I went through the channels, got through Patty Jenkins. She gave my script to Steve. He liked what I was trying to do. Said, "Okay, I need to see a pitch video from you, and I want to hear you sing my songs." I can't sing, so I just sang a couple of the few first lines of "Don't Stop Believing," and then I just went into a passionate plea about how much this film means to me and my personal connection to it. And what I learned along the way, more than anything, is that having a connection to the story you're telling really means a lot to people, and just having passion for it. There's no reason to tell these stories if you don't have a passion about it. Honestly, the business is hard. It is hard, but if you have if you get good people around you, smart people around you, and you have a passion for the story you're telling, it opens doors. It did for me anyway.
So Taylor, did you have fun when this film was being created?